Hello and good morning. Welcome to our Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern live chat where we talk all about home care agencies and our businesses, and we cover different topics and tips here. So, welcome. Thank you for being here live or replay. Today, I wanted to talk to you about diversifying your agency and what that means. So, if you're just getting started or you're in your beginning years of your agency, you may be focused on building your company and attracting clients and employing people, caregivers, to take care of your clients, right? Like that's your focus, and figuring that out and getting those referrals so that you can do that. But one thing that may not be on your mind is ways to diversify, right? That is like, it's another way of thinking about your business, and something that I know I didn't think of at first. And then as years went on, it was like, okay, we need to diversify. So let me go ahead and explain what I mean by that. Before I do that, quick introduction. My name is Bethany, and I have been a home care agency owner for 13 years now, been a caregiver for 20 years. This is like my jam, caregiving, right? And I am also the creator of the Home Care Agency Startup Academy, where we help people who are wanting to start their home care agency do so efficiently, confidently, on a budget, and with a heart centered approach. All right, so thanks for being here. Let me know your questions at any time. I will come back and answer them. All right, so let's talk about diversifying and what I mean by that. So, diversifying has a couple different meanings. I'm going to speak first to the financial piece of it. Okay, so real example within my home care agency, I contract with at least 5 different entities. All right. So I do not just do private pay, I do not just do long term care insurance and work with them. I don't just work with Medicare, right? I do 5 different ones. Originally, when I first started, I was only working with Medicaid, and then it was like, okay, it's time to add on more payers, more contracts. And the reason for this, the big reason for this, and why you're going to want to do this as well, if you can, within your state, within your guidelines, is that you want to be able to have sustainability, and you want to be able to have that cushion, if you will, for income, money coming in. And I do work from home, and I do have dogs. And one of my little buddy here is asking to come up. So, just one moment, please. This is my little buddy. This is Diesel. Aw, yep. Okay, so the reason for this is to having that steady flow of income, because what can happen at any time with any of your payers, there can be a holdup, there can be a hang up. For example, with Medicaid, which we all have that in all 50 states, they can take, in my state at least, it's written and told to us in our contract that they can take up to 30 days to pay us. All right. Now, normally, what I love about contracting with Medicaid is they will pay every single week. We do a billing every week. We have to do it by Wednesday night tonight. And we get direct deposit money into the bank account Friday. But if they have an issue with their money, if they have a hang up, right? Especially the end of their fiscal year, they always have a hang up. Then that money doesn't get deposited. Okay, so money didn't get deposited. However, staff provided care, clients received care, and they need to be paid. We pay weekly in my company. And that, if you can do that, that is a big attraction to your employees. They like to be paid weekly if possible. That's a whole other topic, but keeping that momentum going, keeping that money coming in, money going out, being paid, right? It's important. So if I only relied on Medicaid, that could get sticky, right? I would have to have a backup income source in the form of my own money or a loan or something of that nature, right? So what we have done in my company is we've diversified. So we probably, it was like 7 years ago, we started contracting with the VA. So the Veterans Administration. They are amazing to work for. Plus, you get to care for veterans, and they are some of the most appreciative people. Like, it's been a wonderful relationship working with the VA. They're very simple, they're very easy. They they want veterans to remain in their homes and have care, and they make things happen very efficiently. So, and they also, just so you're aware, with the VA, they pay like same day. Like, you submit a claim and they pay. It's crazy. That's new. It didn't always start that way. They would take a while to reimburse. Now, no, it's like almost instant. It's incredible with the VA. So, but they're another one. And VA, they, in most states, it varies state to state. Actually, it varies within your state. Like, I live in like northern Maine, and in southern Maine, the VA gives a higher reimbursement rate. It does cost more to live in southern Maine than northern Maine, but I'm just saying. So their reimbursement rate does vary, not just state to state, but within your state, wherever you live. But still, their reimbursement rate is wonderful. It's phenomenal, and it's often higher than your Medicaid and Medicare's. Okay? All right, so we have Medicaid, we have the VA. That's like wonderful to work with. We like that, right? It's like we're doing good, and it's all good coming back. Love that. And then also, of course, long-term care insurance companies. They're usually pretty easy to work with. Sometimes they have some requirements. They want to see plan of care. They want to see care tasks. They want to have that weekly or with your billing submitted. They want to see all of that, which is understandable. Oftentimes what happens with them is that your client will pay you, and they pay your client. So that's how that works 9 times out of 10. I don't ever remember really a long-term care company paying us directly. It's always we bill the client, and then they will reimburse the client. So that's another way. Then there's private pay. So there's no long-term care involved. There's no program like VA or Medicaid involved, and they are paying privately. And you can set that billing up however you need for your agency. So I have some some private pay clients who only receive care twice a week. So, and it's like 4 hours twice a week. So I'm only going to be billing them maybe once a month, just to keep my paperwork easy, keep it clean, all of that. Oh, he likes to sit behind me. Oop. There, you okay, buddy? You okay? All right. if I have a private pay client, which I've had in the past, I don't right now, who's like a 24/7, okay, 24/7 case, then I'm more than likely billing weekly, because that's a lot of care being provided. That's a lot of hours, billable hours, and I also need to, there's a lot of payroll hours. I need to be able to pay my staff. So I need to have that income coming in on a weekly basis. So really it depends, and you may, as you go along, you may be like, I want to keep it easy and just bill every week regardless of their status, or I want to bill every other week, or whatever it is. And you'll figure that out and also set that up in your private pay contract with your client, so that it's all out there and they're aware of what's coming down the road, the expectation for payment. Okay, and then lastly, when we speak about Medicare, at least in my state, I'm not billing Medicare directly. Like, I'm not going on their website and billing them directly. What it is there's a program, Section 63, where I contract with an entity who has these clients, right, who qualify for this program. They need in-home care. They are the caseworkers for these individuals, and they also do all the billing and receive the monies that are U.S. federal dollars, state dollars. I don't know. I think it's a mixture. It could just be Medicare. It could be both. I'm not sure. I know it's not just Medicaid. That's what I do know. But I bill them through their billing template, what they require, and they reimburse me. Now, they only reimburse me once per month. Okay, so I've just described to you like 5 different entities, contracts that I have, and the frequency of payment. Right now, you can see the importance of diversifying, because some pay every week, some pay once a month, some pay daily, some get behind and they have 30 days to pay. So that leaves this like area of no money coming in for that entity. But luckily, I have the other ones who are depositing money, and so I can pull from that to make sure that staff are paid, that taxes are paid, things of that nature. Ooh, he pushes me right out of my seat every time. It's so funny. That's okay though. Things we do for our pets, it's fine. It's great. No, I'll do anything for him. Okay. Yes, so the importance of diversifying, it is very, very important. So that way you keep that income and that flow going within your company. Now, some of you watching this, you may say, well, I don't know how to get started with the VA, with Medicaid. And oftentimes those entities, they're going to be looking at what your state requirements are for licensure. So some of you do need a license, you need a certificate, or you need to register. Some of you don't need to do any of those things, right? So those entities are looking at what your state requires. The only thing they want is whatever your state wants. They go by your state, okay? So you need to just get clear with that, and then you can start the process of applying to work with those entities. And with those, not so much with Medicaid, I haven't really, well, yeah, with Medicaid, Medicare, and the VA, they give out referrals too. So they will be looking in your area to see what home care agency is in their client's area, their patient's area. They will be looking, and if they see you and that you're contracted, they're gonna send it over and say, hey, do you have any staffing for this client? and provide care for them, they get 15 hours a week over Monday through Friday or whatever it is. They'll explain it to you. So that's kind of nice too. So you're now able, when you set up these contracts, you're able to provide care and reach more people, which is really, really nice. And you start this relationship where those entities have care managers, case managers, who more than likely will be looking for care for their clients or their patients. The language varies state to state, um, and might be reaching out to you. So that's really, really nice as well. All right, so that, I hope that covers everything with diversifying and exactly what I mean by that. But it's really not putting all, or considering, I mean, you can do whatever you like, but considering not putting all of your energy into just one payer, right? You want to have at least two or three, so you have that flow of income and that you can get paid yourself and pay your staff and not really have any worries that way, right? And there's other things too, like if something happens where you have a client and they're let's say that they have long-term care insurance, they have John Hancock, and they exhaust their policy, they use everything up, and now they're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do now? Right? I don't have any money left to pay you privately. I still need care. What's my next step? And depending on finances, depending on need, they may then qualify for your state's Medicaid program. Or if you have a program in your state that utilizes Medicare, like I was talking about with our Section 63, they may be able to transfer into one of those programs. And at that point, you can say, hey, no problem, I got you, right? Because I'm contracted with those. So there's going to be no interruption in your care, right? And that's what I love that. I love that. I love doing that for people when I can say, there's going to be no interruption in your care. I've had people come on with us privately, and then they get their VA benefits going. And I said, yeah, we can just switch over to VA. That's no problem. I'm contracted with them. No interruption in your care. It's easy, right? So you keep your client happy, you keep them safe, and you just keep going. And it's wonderful. So it's really, really nice. Now, that's the financial piece of diversifying that I really wanted to touch on today. There are a couple other things with diversifying to consider. Let me just toggle over here to my page here. Some other things that you want to think about down the road, maybe as far as this goes, is expanding your service offerings. So this could be offering, you have to work within your scope and what your state says. But you may say, I'm going to really hone in on providing care for people living with dementia. And you can become known as that. Yes, we take care of all our elderly and disabled community members. We can provide care. However, aside from that, we do have this specialty where we are really, really good as a company at providing dementia focused care, right? And so that could look like some more training for your staff in that area, staff who want to do that. It's actually a really good idea. I never really thought about that like this. Okay, so that's actually a really good idea to do that, because I'm going off a little path here, but a lot of our caregivers who come to work for us, they don't have a huge background or training in dementia care. And so when they are placed with a client who's living with that condition, it can be hard for some caregivers to understand exactly how to best work with that individual. And then it can become hard. So having that training already on board is would be really, really great for everybody involved, right? Let's face it. And it may be something that you only offer to a couple of your employees who show interest. And yeah, that's a good one. All right, yeah, diversification. So looking at how you can offer a specialized care program. At the example would be specializing in caring for individuals living with dementia. Okay, that is one example. There's many. There's many areas that you could go in, of course. Geographic expansion is another thing to consider down the road. You might open up a new branch of your company that could be in another part of your state. That could be something, though, that you do need to check in with your state to make sure that they allow that for sure. And let's see here. So, some benefits of diversifying your home care agency: it really reduces reliance on a single service or market. When you do this, you're spreading risk and protecting the agency from downturns in specific areas. You have revenue growth by offering a variety of services or entering new markets. The agency can tap into additional revenue streams and foster business growth. Diversification can differentiate the agency from competitors, positioning it as a comprehensive care provider with a wide range of offerings. So, definitely giving a competitive advantage. And then also diversifying allows an agency to adapt to the changing market trends, emerging healthcare technologies, and evolving client preferences. And it enhance resilience, right? So when you diversify in, like we talked about in the beginning, the real weight of this conversation was looking at contracting with different entities so that you have different revenue streams coming in, or revenue streams coming in from different entities. You are better equipped to withstand economic fluctuations, regulatory changes, or shifts in the healthcare landscape. And this really just ensures sustainability for your company when you can do this. And then the other ones that we just touched on, like expanding and having another branch or having specific areas of healthcare that you focus on, those are other ways to diversify your company. So I hope this conversation was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know any questions that you have, and I'll see you next week right here, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, inside of our group Home Care Agency Startup Method on Facebook. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I will put all the descriptions below for you on that. All right, take care and have an awesome day.